People want what you have, but they don't want to endure the suffering. And I always say, let's talk about that part. The bodybuilder that people see was created from pain and everything that I went through. So I was in survival mode.
The Maryland Muscle Machine, 4-time first Olympia runner-up and 2-time Arnold Classic champion.
Bodybuilding icon, Kevin Levrone.
People need to learn how to close their eyes and communicate and stop judging someone by what they see. I've been crushed. My older brother was shot and murdered. I've been crushed. My other brother died from cancer. You know, I've been crushed. My father's funeral was the first one I went to. He died in 2 weeks. But God said, I've been preparing you for a greater purpose than what you wanted, what you've been through, or what I went through, or what I'm going to continue to go through. If we can endure that crushing phase, we'll reach our purpose in life.
Have you got any advice for people who have lost a parent or they've been brought up in a difficult household, how they can channel the negativity and put it to good use?
Yeah. I say...
Quick pause, guys. I need to tell you something. It's that time of the year where everyone's on the winter arc hype, where they're building their physique, which they plan to reveal at some point in the summer of 2026. But I hate to be the guy that says it. Most of you are going to end up getting fat. You'll be overeating. You'll be following some sort of a program which isn't actually going to be getting your results. You're going to be improvising on the spot, no doubt. You won't be tracking. There'll be no structure, just random exercises with minimal progress seen on a week-to-week basis. Pretty frustrating, right? Well, that's the whole reason why I built the Thirst app, to help busy people like yourself find a system they can actually stick to over a long period of time. We have thousands of transformations from men and women who just plug into the app and get the exact plan they need for their goals, show up to the gym, and just put in the work, all for less than an hour of their time. I've got a special offer running for you guys right now. For less than the price of a one-to-one PT session, you get access to over hundreds of programs and hundreds of different meal plans, everything which you could possibly need to get yourself in shape. So if you actually want to stick to something and see results without taking things to the absolute extremities, click the link in the bio. Let's get on with the video. It's nice now to finally sit down and have a conversation with you whilst I'm not on all fours, struggling to breathe in a puddle of sweat.
Yeah. You did well, though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was something totally off the radar for you.
Yes.
So I didn't know how you would like make it yours, but you did. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely you did. Yeah. So that was professional side of you adapting to something different and accepting it. Mm-hmm. And that was cool. You know what I mean?
It was mental training.
Yeah.
Almost more than the physique.
I mean,
I was sore for 5 days after that, though.
You were?
Yes. I don't know. That's the first time I've been that sore off a bodyweight workout.
Yeah. And, you know, people look at us and, you know, his biceps and this, how many reps and sets and this and that. But we found a way to get there through the attack system without the weights. Mm-hmm. We didn't even use no weight. It was just your body weight. Mm. And I know you were upfront and honest with the way that you were feeling. So I was like, okay, this does work. Because you, like for me, 30 years of training, 16 sets per body part, blah, blah, blah. You know, your overall conditioning is something totally different, you know. Mm-hmm. You train more mainstream, not just sets, you know, 16, loading up, benching 4, whatever, 3 or 4 or 500 pounds, right? And your way, and I'm like, okay, well, let me try to see if this approach works on Mike. But you were feeling it.
Yeah, I was
when you started sweating and you were bleeding sweat, I was like, you know what? It works. So I commend you on that. Definitely.
Did you ever used to train like that?
I did, yeah. Once not when I was preparing for my shows.
So I think that confused a few people.
Yeah.
They were like, hang on, wait. Did Kev used to train like this before?
No, not when I was preparing for my shows, but after, you know, the hardcore bodybuilding, I was introduced to a life of working out that is really, really beneficial, you know, and that's one of them. Yeah. Cardio conditioning.
Training the heart.
Being a moving athlete, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what it is, you know. So.
Yeah, man, you're looking good now. I've seen a few recent pictures. Man. The six-pack is still there.
Yeah, well, it's coming in more. Serratus season. is definitely there. So I feel good about it. You know, I'm running, man. I'm on a treadmill, you know, running, fasted, but running in the morning, you know, maybe 5 miles, you know, trying to knock out 5 miles within about 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's good for me right now. My overall goal is to get to where I can do like a mini marathon, you know.
What's that class as? How many kilometers is a mini marathon?
That would probably be about 20.
Okay. Have you done a
20 miles.
Yeah.
I don't know what that X to in kilometers, but
Well, that's a lot of running for me.
20. Yeah.
I mean, I did a few 5Ks and I was like,
Yeah.
Because the problem is when you do like, if you want to do that style of running,
Yeah.
you want to be good at it, you got to compromise. Like you can't have big, jacked,
Right.
muscular legs. At some
No,
point,
but
there's a
you know, I
trade-off.
have a friend of mine, Paul Rashad. He's a buddy. He used to be my former workout partner. You know, to where he's kind of introduced me, took me down this road, and you know, doing the research and everything, like it's all mental. You know, I was so used to Michael, like, and that's gotta kind of commend you on the workout that we did because it's something different. Me being programmed as a bodybuilder, reaching the status that I did, my programming was fasted cardio in your target heart rate zone, not allowing your target heart rate to go above 126 beats per minute. Plus, you're going to be losing mass and all this stuff, right? Well, you look good, but you're not conditioned. You know, you can't last in a battle. And what I mean in a battle is, you know, you have these enormous amounts of bursts of energy, but it's not sustained over a long period of time. So I was like, yeah, I look great, but how long can I perform? Right. So for me now, being at my age, you know, it's like conditioning inside from the inside out. So I'm trying these things. And I just think that, you know, my buddy Paul, you know, he used to work out with me. He's 240 pounds, a few inches taller than me, but rock solid. You know, he's doing 20 miles, you know, and he's biking on his bike. Like he does triathlons, swimming 2.5 miles, biking 100 miles. And then after that, you're running 20 miles. So he's combined all of this in, you know, he's 50 years old, knocking out the park. So I'm like, wow, if you're doing that.
Inspiring that.
Yeah, he's 40 pounds or more muscle. I'm only like 209 right now. But for me, my greatest challenge was letting go because I felt very uncomfortable when my heart rate would go in the 140s, you know?
Yeah.
Because I never sustained it up in the 140s or anything past 130. You know,
what about if you were training legs?
It would go up,
but it wouldn't last.
But it wouldn't last. So this is kind of different. When you're training legs and you're loading, it goes up, and you're so focused on getting those reps and sets, but it's only for a short period of time. This is, you know, spinning 445 beats per minute or 150. You know, you're pushing the limit to where you're there 30 minutes or whatever it is. Get used to it, you know, like David Goggins, like this guy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just another whole mental approach to letting go and trusting your body to go where because your body will adapt to whatever you train it to, right? But you got to get past that mental blockage.
Yeah, in the beginning usually sucks.
So for me, that's my greatest challenge, and it has been. So, you know, I'm training in these blitz now. I get on the treadmill. I'll go 2 minutes, you know, these intervals up to 10, 12 or whatever, 12 miles an hour, you know, running. So I'm breaking my brain in now. Of course, the body can do it, but it feels so uncomfortable, you know, when your heart rate goes up to 150, 140s or 150s or 160s, that everything is okay.
Yeah.
You know, you got to let go. It's fine. So that's the strange part for me.
How do you stay on top of everything with your schedule at the moment? I mean, for those people who are watching, Kev's just done back-to-back 3 days of the Dubai Muscle Show, which is nonstop from morning till night. And then this is the Sunday, the third day. You've very, very nicely come onto the podcast, even though I'm sure you'd rather be in bed right now.
No, not really. I'd rather be here talking to you.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
You have to be out in front of where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean by out in front of where you need to be or where we want to be, where I want to be. Where I want to be is, no greater place than here. But a lot of guys, they go to the expo, they go out and they do things, and they're 2 or 3 hours they show up.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, showing up is maximizing the time, the efforts in that place to accomplish what you want, where you want to be a year from now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, this is where I'll definitely be at the end of the day, finishing that off,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I can see with you and your fans, it makes sense why you have such a loyal fan base, because you really do, you care about them.
Yeah.
Like I went yesterday, say hello, you had a massive queue and you're there, you putting in the time with each and every person that comes to talk to you.
Yeah.
So it's
very important. I mean, for me, that's it's who I am,
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of famous human beings want to share their platform with average people,
Mm-hmm.
or a lot of I've gotten passed up a whole lot, that's because they didn't want to share their platform with me, but that's okay, because the cream always rises to the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now this is my platform. So I know how it feels when there's a guy trying to come up and everybody's just putting those roadblocks up for that guy, and a lot of people see a gifted talent in that human being, but they won't give him that shot. I was that guy, you know what I mean, coming through the Olympias or whatever it is. I might have not won the Miss Olympia. Of course I was deserving to win, but sometimes, like for me now, it's like I want to share my platform with the guys out there, that's just nobody sees or the ones that do see something in you, they don't give you that shot, so I'll stay 9 hours, 10 hours to hear the stories. Yo, man, why'd you decide to wait in 6 hours into line just to talk to me? And then, you hear those stories, man. I've waited a whole year. I can't afford to go to the Miss Olympia. I wanted to meet you. I saved up my money to come to this event, to this show. 8, 9 hours I drove to get here, brought his parents or whatever. That's the stuff to keep me going, because I was once that kid, that just wanted to find my way. And I had nobody to give me the time of the day, so I stand because it's part of me standing, but also they give me the energy to keep going on because I was that guy, and maybe you've gotten passed up along the way.
Oh,
and
even now
we get passed up, you know what I mean? But it's like,
it never really stops. I think
it doesn't.
There's still to this day, there's people who I reach out to who I'd want to do something with, but they're like, they're above.
Well, they think they are above, but they're passing by. So I never despise a day of small beginnings, because the guys that passed me up and the ones that voted me down, keeping it real, like now I have the upper hand.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you passed me up, but now you want to be on my platform, and that's cool. So I'll still drag those guys up, but it's like, I don't want to be that guy that passed the average guy up, and I don't ever want to be that guy that don't help somebody because I want the glory for myself. That's not cool.
No.
So for me, man, it's like, that's what drives me, and I don't mind standing for that guy that needs a piece of my heart, soul, or whatever it is. If I can lift him up, great. That's why I came. That's why I'm here. And we come, Expo opens at 9 or whatever, it closes at 7. We close it down, bro. And hitting 20 some different countries. We same thing. If the line's wrapped around the building, and I tell my distributors sometimes, hey, I don't care. You guys are in for a long night tonight because I'm not going to leave until I talk to that last guy at the end of that last line, the line right there. And we'll go to one time, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock to 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like literally international as well.
Yeah.
It's the craziest places.
Yeah.
Was there any place in
like
particular that was like, I can't believe the crowd was this big?
The crowd is what's happened, Mike, is the fact that like we started off, you know, and just the crowd every time is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every year. That's the part that's getting me. And I'm like, well, what are we doing different?
It's not like he's competing.
It's like crazy. We're not doing anything different. But what it is, it's the message. You know what I mean? Because I'm sharing those heartfelt things that people can relate to. You know, they look at us and they think we perfect, but they don't know what drove you or drove me to be here in this, what created us, what's driving us deeper than what they see, you know? And I'm willing to go to that place and just connect with the inner being and say, hey man, you're glorifying the bodybuilder, Maryland Muscle Machine, Kevin Levrone. That's a character that I created through all the agony and pain and suffering that I went through. People want what you have, but they don't want to endure the suffering. And I always say, let's talk about that part of, you know, my life where, you know, my dad died. I was 10. I didn't have a Christmas tree, didn't get any more gifts, didn't celebrate Thanksgiving. You know, nobody showed up. I failed 6th grade in school. I was bullied because I didn't have a father. You know, all those things. That's what created my thought process when I go into the gym, right? Of that crazy insanity. So, there's a message in you and me that everybody can relate to. So I always try to relate to those.
Yeah. After we had the session together, obviously I knew who you were, but then I was curious to find out more after we trained, and I did a little bit more researching and diving deep into your backstory. I didn't realize the difficulties that you'd gone through as a child, obviously losing your father to cancer. And it was something which I could relate to quite a bit because I lost my mother to cancer when I was 11. And a similar sort of thing where there was like what you said, like it was a 4-month period where you had to go to so many different funerals for family members. Like your childhood wasn't a normal one. And a similar thing for me, not in that short a period of time, but there was within a 4-year period where I'd been to like 5 different funerals from like either friends or family members, people who committed suicide. And it was just a very weird childhood for me, especially my teenage years. But nobody really sees that.
Yeah. They just see it's perfect guy, you know, looking great, looking like a model, but they don't know, you know, your journey. You know, what is the journey? What is the journey behind all of it? And I always say, you know, people need to learn how to close their eyes and communicate and stop judging someone by what they see.
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm sure a lot of the people who come to you, they will no doubt have their own struggles and issues which they're dealing with, and they probably are asking you for advice and guidance.
Vice versa with you. You know, you have a platform, and I've read a lot of your followers. You know, the comments and how many people that you totally inspire, man. That's phenomenal. But you know, I don't think anyone has given you a blueprint to get where you are now. You had to figure that out yourself, you know. You moved, you made the sacrifices, you've made it through the ups, the downs, and all of those has created you to be who you are, your decision making, to talk, and to be who you are, man. And that's what there's something different about Mike. I know he looks good and the muscles and he's handsome and all of this stuff, but you know what? There's something different about him. And what it is that you're a kind, gentle human being, you know, and the looks in the outer shell and the titles is just what gravitates, is what they see. That gets their attention. But then when you start speaking, when you start interacting, wow, he's different. He's a likable human being.
Mhm.
You follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And that's why you have your fan base, your following, your roots. They're embedded through your history of who you are, and it comes out.
Mhm.
I know you're doing reps and sets and all this shit, but your whole demeanor is what people feel, and they come to your page because they want to be part of that. They want to have that feeling. When you give somebody something that they can't get anywhere else, they'll keep coming back for more of that
Yeah.
feeling. So you have yours, I have mine, the whole niche thing. So, and that is why I always say, people need to find their way, find out their purpose. Obviously, you found your purpose now. It's a powerful thing you're doing, and I found mine. Yeah.
Mhm. Do you feel like you were always the way that you are now, in terms of internally, from what I can see and what I know is you're a genuinely good, kind person. Were you always like that, even
Always, yeah.
Yeah?
Always, you know.
Because I
And
see, like, you see the training videos and you in the gym, and it's like it's very easy to judge
mhm,
based off that type of person and what how you look.
yeah,
But you're just a kind soul
yeah,
deep down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like to feel my way.
Mm.
Yeah.
How did you get into bodybuilding and lifting?
Again, it was associated with my father dying from cancer, not wanting to play team sports in school, looking for a place where I could just be by myself, going to the school gym alone by myself. I didn't want to play football. I didn't want to play any sports. I wanted to just be by myself. So I started studying philosophy of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was a philosopher, and I picked up the books and started reading the books after my father died. And martial arts, teach you discipline and self-confidence. So I studied the arts of martial arts, and I kind of found strength in how to pretty much control your destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it all stemmed from Bruce Lee, and I always followed Bruce Lee, and read all of his books and the things that he was talking about, the power of the mind. As long as you believe something, you can achieve it, visualization, and all of these things. And I've actually taken martial arts and dove deeply into martial arts. And then
Have you ever had to use it?
Huh?
Have you ever had to use it?
No. I took the mental mindset, and when I figured out I was putting on sides real quick and then I just took that and applied it to going into the gym with that mindset, attacking the weights, visualizing, and finding my path and my routes with sets and reps, and forming my way of working out. And then I kind of stumbled across everything, but that's how I got into
Were you a
working
quick
out.
responder?
Hyper responder, yeah. But it was through the death of my father where I got into martial arts, and I discovered bodybuilding. Yeah.
And then, did you have any idea that you wanted to compete, or was it straight up?
I had no idea. I went to a powerlifting meet, but then I found out that you could make money in bodybuilding, more money than competing as a martial arts amateur. And I stumbled across bodybuilding. It just became easy. It was easy to put on muscle. I don't want to disrespect the sport or anything like that, but for me, it's always been easy.
Easy because you enjoyed the process and the results just came, or easy because you think you got pretty lucky with genetics? Because for me, in my experience of going to the gym and starting off, I just had a little play around with some weights, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh, I think this is pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
And then there was also, I got mugged on a bus once, so I felt very helpless.
Yeah.
Like physically, I was very skinny. So I was like, okay, let me bulk up a little bit and at least look a little bit intimidating so that I don't become a target.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened, I guess a similar thing, just going into the gym, playing around with it, looked in the mirror, liked the way that I looked after that, and then it was game over.
It was game over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just happened kind of quick for me.
Yeah. Do you look back at the competing days and miss it?
No.
No.
No. No.
How come?
Because every set, every rep, every competition, I always thought about my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go to a dark place to create that character, the bodybuilder that people see. Was created from pain and everything that I went through. So when I would get on a cycle of steroids or something, it was just, I was in survival mode, feeling a part of me that was a deep, dark side, and revisiting those moments. And when I go into a gym, I can't really go and work out if I'm not 100% that guy.
Yeah.
And I can't get to be like, I was that guy. I'm not the guy no more, So I don't do 16 sets of body part. I don't squat heavy. I don't do the heavy bench pressing and stuff. For me now, it's another whole type of training that I've never done before. It's running, it's conditioning, it's being a moving athlete. So for me to go to the dark side, there's no reason to, but back then it was survival.
Yeah.
That was my therapy, right?
Well, I guess it's risky. Like, you don't necessarily want that dark side to come out now. It's like you probably injure yourself. I mean, I guess that's like one of the reasons why you got the pec tear and the tricep tear.
I'm not that guy no more.
Yeah.
So, but that was done for another whole reasoning.
Yeah.
Not that I don't really think anyone could really understand it unless they've actually been through it, but that was actually therapy.
Well, do you know, a lot of people who I've spoken to who've lost a parent, particularly if they've lost a parent at a young age, they have actually, not necessarily everyone, but a lot of them have gone on to do some pretty great things.
Yeah.
Like they've channeled that and put it into something. But then there's obviously the other end of the spectrum where people, they don't put that to good use and they go down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Maybe they punish themselves by doing drugs and hanging around with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Have you got any advice for people or youngsters who have lost a parent or they've been brought up in a difficult household, how they can channel the negativity and put it to good use?
Yeah. I say that, and I said this a lot, when you think your life is falling apart, it's falling in place.
Yeah.
Most of us get in the way of what we force. Sometimes you don't have to force it. You just have to embrace the pain. And if somebody want to call it negative or whatever it is happening, but you got to realize that that's preparing you. It's preparation. You're in preparation seasoning. You got to go through that thing to get through that thing.
Yeah.
And I say that.
Yeah.
My father died 2 weeks. We had no idea he was going to die. My father used to take me to school in the morning. I would get out of school at 2:30. He would be there to pick me up every day since first grade. And I woke up, I had to walk to the bus stop. Mom said, your dad's back's hurting. And I walked to the bus stop. First time I caught a bus. That day, it got dark. He didn't pick me up from school. The janitor, named Miss Smith, she took me home. It was 6 o'clock, dark at night. I got home. Now, normally, my mother would be home with dinner cooked, waiting for my father to come home at 4 or 5 o'clock. He wasn't there. He never came home. I never saw him again till he was in a casket, And it was devastating. Yeah. So now, Michael, looking back, I'm 61 years old. The average lifespan is maybe 80, 78, maybe. I have 60 pieces to that 78 or 80 pieces of puzzle of life. So I can now say, now it makes sense why daddy died. And then my mom at 19, right? And then the whole thing with bodybuilding. I'm at 61 years old. So now everything that happened, from everything, it came full circle. I'm like, damn, okay. It all makes sense. But when I was 10, I only had 10 pieces in my life. Didn't make sense.
Yeah, nothing makes sense.
This shit ain't make sense.
Yeah.
19 didn't make sense. Now I understand why Pop died. God took him away because of where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Kevin's standing there. He's visiting 20-some countries a year. His supplement company is in over 100 countries a year. He never won the Mr. Olympia because if he had won the Mr. Olympia in 1992, he would have stopped. So you see, God had a greater purpose. And I always say God because I know what I wanted, but what I wanted isn't what he wanted for me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted was to win the Mr. Olympia. But he was like, nah, I didn't take your dad away for you to have a trophy. I took your dad away and your mom away because I wanted you, I was building you to do greater things, but you didn't see it then. So now it makes sense. If I could stand here now and talk to you and talk to all of these kids around the world in so many countries, you know, we're doing business in every single thing. Now it makes sense why I never won the Mr. Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Now it makes sense why after the Olympia, I got second. I would always go on tour in Spain, Italy, Germany, France, Russia, Holland, Czech, around the world and win these shows in 1994, 91, 96, 97, right? It was like he was preparing me through my pain and suffering for this moment, for this journey. You see, it wasn't about the Olympia or that trophy that collects dust. It's about a greater purpose for our lives. So I would say to any kid out there, wait, hold on. When you think your life is falling apart, it's not. It's falling into place. Just don't give up. You know, don't take your life. I know it's tough. And like we beat ourselves up because of things that we don't have. And, you know, we might feel like, you know, we're being abused, or we might not have that dad, or we might, you know, have nobody, no bigger brother or nobody to teach us and show us the way. But as long as you have you, I really do believe that that's all we need, because when we were born with every single thing. It's only when we try to be like someone else's that we lose our path. The pain and suffering, you need that. Like a wine, grapes need to be crushed. We need to be crushed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, brother? We need to be crushed before we can be who we need to be and have and reach, you know, the ferment of who we are, who Mike is, or who Kevin is. I've been crushed. You know, my older brother was shot and murdered. I've been crushed. My other brother died from cancer. You know, I've been crushed. My mom gone, 19 years old, 2 years before I even turned pro. She never lived to see any of this. I've been crushed. My father's funeral was the first one I went to. He died in 2 weeks. Been crushed. Never had a Christmas tree. Never saw Thanksgiving. I've been on the road. I would in hotel rooms by myself for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, seeking an Olympic trophy, wanted to be Mr. Olympia. I've been crushed because I haven't won ever the Mr. Olympia. Won everything in the world, but you go back and you get second, and you get second. You feel like they're just giving you bones and everything. I've been crushed, right? Yeah. Because I've been crushing myself, chasing that. But God said, I've been preparing you for a greater purpose than what you wanted, you see? And we can't see it when we're in that crushing phase. But what happens when you crush that wine and you let it set, you let it ferment, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 15 years. You know what a nice bottle of wine that's set in 62 years, 61 years would taste like, how expensive it would be right now.
Yeah.
More so than if you don't crush it, and you take them grapes and you just let it sit there and you get that success right now, it ain't going to taste as good. So I had to ferment like you had to ferment. And it takes time for us to get to that fine wine, brother. So it's when we hold on through the crushing, we find that purpose.
Yeah.
You see? So it's like, I'd rather have that 62 bottle a year wine that's been setting for 62 years. Give me a nice bottle of wine from 1964 right now. It's worth a lot more than any wine that's been, setting on the shelf in 2020. Right? It's priceless. So that crushing phase is priceless. What you've been through, or what I went through, or what I'm going to continue to go through. You see? That's the true purpose of who we are. If we can endure that crushing phase, we'll reach our purpose in life.
Just a quick one, guys. We have an offer running on the Thirst app right now. And for those who don't know, this is an app which I built to give you everything that you could possibly need in order to get yourself in shape. So this is everything which I've learned over the past 18 years of training, speaking to all of the experts and coaching thousands of clients. Since the launch of the app, we've helped over 100,000 people to get one step closer to achieving their goals. So those people no longer were wasting time in the gym trying to figure out what exercises they should be doing, how many reps, how many sets, when they should rest, what meal plan they should be following that's going to be best suited for them. No more of that. For less than the price of one PT session, you can get access to over hundreds of programs to help you build strength, power, and size, along with meal plans to help you build muscle, lose fat, and optimize your health and well-being, whilst also allowing you to have some degree of flexibility in your life. So now's the time to get in shape, make it easier for yourself with a system that actually works, with the minimal input and the absolute maximum output. Let's get into the video. Did you ever think where you would have ended up if everything had just been perfect? Like what you would be doing?
I don't know what perfect is because I've never experienced it. For me right now, this is perfect. Yeah. The pain for me, if someone wants to call it pain or whatever, this is my perfect life. I'd rather have this life than be born into royalty without a message. I've found my purpose, Kevin Levrone, and it wasn't handed to me.
Yeah.
Like your life and your purpose wasn't handed to you. Your father didn't hand this down to you. Along the way, what they did, Mike, was they had to be born for us to be who we are. So we got to remember that now, whether your father was in your life or he wasn't, or your mom was in your life or they wasn't, but your father, your great-great-great-grandfather, who we never met, they lived for us to give the message, for us to be here right now. We're the ones that did it. So honoring where we are, who we came from, and our way of being where we are on this stage right now. I'd much rather be crushed and endure that process to say, you know what, I'm here. And
did you ever go to therapy?
No. You think I need to?
No, but like I didn't really either.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, yeah, well, you probably should have done.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it would have helped. I think I always had a problem expressing myself.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to the emotions. Because I just bottled it up. I think it was similar to your mother. You said you never saw her complain. You never really saw her show emotion. She just kind of like got on with it. Same with my dad.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Like inside, I feel pretty bad, but I'm just gonna crack.
You still do it now?
What, therapy?
You have issues of expressing your emotions and who you are?
I'm much better now.
Yeah.
It used to be a problem in relationships though.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, they could never read me. Maybe that would be a little bit advantageous at some points because they just think I'm mysterious.
But don't you think that that's what makes you mysterious and probably a lot more attractive in who you are?
Yeah.
Because of that side of you. Like, I don't believe that a therapist for me, I don't want to do it because they'll suppress who I am right now. I need to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
I need to go to the little dark sides every now and then.
Yeah.
It's okay. And with you, nobody needs to completely read who you are.
Well,
A little mystery is always, intriguing. Wow, who is this guy?
Yeah. Did you have a good group of friends that you could?
No.
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 Okay.
I don't tell nobody nothing.
No. Okay.
You?
Yeah. I was fortunate. I didn't think I didn't go through the bullying at school.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think if anything, there was a little bit of sympathy.
Yeah.
But I had a great group of friends at school, another great group of friends at university. Same thing when I stayed in Newcastle. There was a moment when I moved to London where I didn't really have any friends. There was a couple of years with no friends. I realized how much of an impact that had on my life. And then I came out here, and then
So you need friends?
Yes, but not all the time. I like to spend most of the time by myself.
You do?
With my own thoughts.
Yeah.
That's, I think...
what do you think that derives from? Like, what caused that? Do you have a close relationship with your father?
Yeah, but it's not like I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
But he's someone who I've always looked up to.
Does it bother you? You think about your mom?
I have a lot of questions, especially when I was growing up. I just didn't understand what was going on. There was a lot of anger and frustration.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, as I got older into my 20s, I could talk about it. I could never open up and talk about it because it just made me sad.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just not go there.
You carry it still now?
Maybe not so much anymore.
Not so much?
I think it definitely in my 20s. But then I've come to terms with it. I think the most frustrating thing now is that from what I heard, she was an amazing person.
Yeah.
And that we actually had a lot of similarities. But I never got to get to know that person. I think my dad is quite similar to my brother.
Yeah.
He kind of takes after him. So it's like a shame. But
you think that has a lot to do with who you are now, though?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's made me, it's like you. It's like at a very early age, you've already gone through probably the hardest thing you'll ever have to experience. Yeah. So anything after that, it's like, yeah, it sucks, but...
people probably ask you, there's anything about your life you'd like to change? You ever get asked that question?
Yeah. What would you do different?
What do you say?
The only thing, I wouldn't do things different. I just maybe would have done things sooner.
So you have regrets?
No. But if there was anything to change, it's like, well, I would have still taken every decision which I took, but I wouldn't have procrastinated so long. Like if I'd felt an urge to do something
Don't you think every decision you made still is who you are right now?
Mm-hmm.
It led to who you are right now. It's driven you to be who you are right now. Right?
Yeah.
So how can anyone possibly have any regrets if where you are right now is at a perfect state in your life?
I always try to visualize what would I be like if I was on my deathbed and I'm looking back at my life.
Yeah.
The goal for me is to not be in that position and regret not doing things.
Do you have any regrets? No.
I think I've got a pretty good life, I think.
Yeah.
There's a good balance. Like, yeah, I do the work, but I enjoy life as well. There's a good balance.
Where do you see yourself 2 years from now?
In 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 35 now, so I'll be 37. I think it's probably time that I have some children.
Yeah. Are you afraid to be 60? You ever think about what is life going to be 60?
I don't think the only thing that would concern me is if I can't do the things that I love to do.
Really? Like
so
what?
Just move my body to exercise.
Well, I can tell you at 61 years old, there's still life.
Yeah.
We can still move,
mm-hmm.
And do all of those things you're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I'm still like mentally there.
I think you'll be sharper than probably. You know what?
I will probably, I don't know if I look back at like my older content and be like embarrassed.
I'd rather be this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I'm at the peak of my life right now.
Yeah.
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 So just keep on stacking, keep on going, bro. You'll be like, I had this conversation with this guy, Kevin Levrone. And I had him on my show, and this was 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be like 30. I'll be gone after 30 years. And he was right. He told me that when I got 60, 61, like he was, I'd be at the peak of my life. You'll be there.
I think I'll be a whole lot wiser.
Yeah. 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Remember that. Remember when you get to 60, how old are you? 30?
35.
Yeah. You get to 65.
Yeah.
Remember what I told you, okay? You're like,
That'll be a
damn,
peak.
he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm 61 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What were you like at 35 when you were my age? I mean, you were insanely jacked, obviously.
I was bodybuilding.
You look really good that year.
Living on the edge, bodybuilding. Yeah. But,
Did you enjoy life outside of that?
Mm-mm.
It was just all bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But you didn't go. Do you go to parties?
Mm-mm.
Travel?
No.
Go on dates?
Traveling was bodybuilding travel. Dates was non-existent because I was so big. It was disgusting. Yeah. Eating fish, rice, and broccoli, you felt like a fish. I mean, you smelled like a fish. So I don't.
Yeah.
My life, was when I turned pro, I was 23 years old. I signed a contract with Joe Weider, and under the contract is you have to be, 8 guest poses a year. My schedule was already set. Photo shoots, Flex Magazine, Muscle and Fitness. They check in with you every month. Make sure you're doing what you're doing every month. In order for you to keep your contract, you have to do all of these appearances. You got to fly to California, sit down, meet with Joe. He wants to take a look at you to make sure you're analyzing you. You're under a microscope the whole time you're a pro. Yeah. Especially when you're a contracted pro like me. It's like you're programmed to be somewhere to talk, to represent a brand. In order for you to keep your contract, you have to stay within those stipulations. So there was no time for, and then you had to compete at the Mr Olympia in your contract. You had to do the Arnold Classic. You had to do certain things if you sign up for the European tour. And this lasted from 22 all the way until I retired at 34. That was my life, and then they would check in order for you to keep that, you have to place in the top 5, top 8 Mr Olympia, win so many shows.
It's a lot of pressure.
Show up for posing exhibitions in shape constantly. Mike, I missed probably 9 years of my family having family reunions. But for me, it was okay because I didn't celebrate Christmas anyway. My father was dying, so that pissed me off. I wanted to go around my family, remind me of that. Thanksgiving, didn't even exist. I didn't there was nothing to celebrate. So I was like a soldier program. And for me, that was okay. So it fit perfect for me. Yeah. So no, I didn't.
It's one of the reasons why that was not a path I decided to go down.
Yeah.
I had a little taster of it competing 24 and 25.
Yeah.
And there's definitely, in another universe, maybe I could have dedicated my life to that.
Yeah.
Got on all the gear and done nothing but just compete.
Right.
I probably would have looked pretty good, but I just did not feel like it was for me. I felt like I had a little bit more to offer. Because the thing is, I guess people would only really know this if they have competed before, like what it actually takes when you give everything to it. The training, the nutrition, it's like a full-on lifestyle. You can't go out and stay up late. You can't go and party. You can't be going and drinking and doing drugs. It's like, no, this is everything. You have to mentally push yourself and be very disciplined.
And it's like, you're being looked at all the time. You're being criticized all the time. You're being judged all the time.
You don't even like yourself. I remember looking in the mirror just thinking, I'm too fat.
Yeah.
And it was the best I'd like ever looked.
My only outlet was music.
Music. Or playing.
My music. So if I didn't have a show, then I would not work out. I would just do my music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You released a couple of songs, didn't you? Was it 4 or 5?
12.
It was 12?
12, yeah. Yeah, man.
Do you reckon that if you dedicate yourself to that could have gone somewhere?
I don't know. I have no idea. You know, my life took the path that it took, but, you know, music was a part of it. You know, it helped me definitely through my training and my posing routines on stage. Yeah, so I found a way to implement it in there, you know.
Yeah. Do you have, who was fellow competitors that you had the best friendship or relationships with?
I would probably say all the guys. You know, they were at a distance. They all lived in California, and Dorian was over in Europe. As far as, you know, I think what they did for me was just motivating to train harder, motivating me to be better. You know, I was trying to beat Dorian Yates, so every time he would come back to Olympia, he would just get bigger and bigger. So I felt like, you know, even though I didn't talk to him all the time on the phone, there was still the communication going on mentally, right?
I don't think he's the most talkative guy anyway.
Yeah. So I would see what he's doing. I'm like, hey, it was motivating me. Sean Ray motivated me. And we never really talk a whole lot on the phone. Sean and I is probably one of the closest now throughout the whole process. But, you know, he taught me how to go on European tours and how to make money in this sport. And that you can make so much money in bodybuilding off the stage, you know, through training videos, exhibitions, guest posing, seminars, and all these things, right? So that's why I went on the European tours. He was a huge part of inspiring me to do that. When you say close to, I think about the relationship and the advice that I've gotten from the guys along the way. Yeah, so they've and you know, we talk casually now and stay in touch with Sean. Dorian, when I see him out on the road, because he has a supplement company, or even Ronnie, you know, I look at Ronnie and I see a piece of Ronnie. Like Ronnie was the guy that, you know, all of us kind of helped out. You know,
you were the first one to show him the shots.
Because he would be on the tours and everything. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You are just way too serious. Sometimes you can push and it's just too serious. So he knocked on my door, came in, had a few shots and stuff. And, you know, I was like, you know, he said, hey, Kevin, man, what you doing stay in shape like that? I said, man. I said, what you talking about? You must be doing something. I said, look, Ronnie, man, I know what you're doing, bro. I said, do you drink? I don't drink no alcohol. I said, look, man, you need to have a shot. Because I was in my hotel room in Russia, you know, he knocked on the door and stuff and came in all in his tank top. Like, you are way too serious, man. You need to relax, have some Jack and Coke. And I didn't have any Coca-Cola, but I had vodka and I had coffee. I don't know what I was doing, Mike, drinking vodka and coffee 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but I was like, Ronnie, here, just do this. I don't drink no alcohol, but you say drink alcohol, I'm going to go ahead and try it. This stuff tastes pretty good. That's what he said, right? And I said, yeah. So we were, you know, I gave him some shots and he's sitting there and we're drinking. And I said, take another one, you know? You sure? I said, yeah, man, I'm sure. He got that, you know, Texas accent, that draw, you know, that Southern draw. So by about 6 shots and everything, yeah, you know, he was feeling real, real good, you know? And so he went back to his room and then it's like we had to be on stage prejudging. we were in Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia, in 1995, you know, and I saw him 11 o'clock. He was dehydrated.
Diced.
I was like, good God almighty.
What have I done?
Yeah. I was like, man, I got beat. And I wasn't losing on any tours, you know. I got beat by Ronnie Coleman. This guy didn't even place in Olympia. He was getting dead last, you know, 6th, 7th place on the tours. Wasn't a threat. He beat me in Russia, and nobody never beat him since. He went on to be 8-time Mr. Olympia. And it's like, again, you can push and push and push, but sometimes pushing isn't always the best thing for you, you know? When you just lay back and let your body tell you what it wants and talks for you and everything. So I was able to get him not even knowing what I was doing, you know, but he was eating so much food and everything. And I wasn't eating no food. You know, when my blood sugar level got low, I would just drink some wine, put some sugar in it through, you know, a shot. And he kept, man, boy, that stuff really worked. I had to try that again. You know, and I think that's probably, buddy. I think that's probably where it came from.
First time,
you know, because he was feeling good. Then he came back to the States. We competed at the Night of Champions, and he beat me again. And I said, man, if he beats me on American soil with American judges, it's all over. Got you again, huh, Kim? I said, yeah, you got me again, big dog. I'm going to go win at Olympia now. That's what he said, right? And he went, and he won.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow. You know, I never thought, if you would have said, if I thought that Ronnie Coleman would ever be 8-time or even win Olympia, I would have said no. You know, but those memories last a lifetime, you know, and he's an amazing human being. And
have you spoke to him recently? He's doing okay?
Yeah, I call him and check in. Sometimes when I'm on tour, I call him and I put the fans on because I know, you know, his health-wise, he can't make it. But the fans, I'll put them on video. It's the greatest thing, you know. Guy that never complains.
Yeah.
You know, and he's still going. It's still going. It's still going. And, you know, Mike, it's what he's derived from that drives him. And he's one of a kind, you know, and when all the muscle is stripped away, we really see the human being and what's driving Ronnie Coleman. And it's just his will to continue to go under all circumstances, to endure all pain, endure everything. And that's what created him to be such a great champion, because he would just train, endless train, add more weight, never quit, and just continuously go. And we see him like that now, continuously going.
The doctor's
they're continuously going. But that is the beauty of Ronnie Coleman. He's just a beautiful human being. You know, now all the muscles stripped away. He's just that beautiful spirit, never complaining about anything. And those come through, human beings like that come through once in a, you know, a lifetime.
Did you train with him?
Never worked out with him, no. But I had the great pleasure of competing with him, and I'm glad that there's anyone that deserves it, it's him.
Yeah,
the 8-time. Yeah, he's definitely the king. King, you know, the king.
I think people in the future will look back at some of his workout footage and probably think it's AI. he was shifting.
They probably will. Yeah, crazy, man. You know,
but you were shifting good weight as well. You were doing 4 plates each side bench press.
I was knocking it out.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you regret? No, obviously we said we don't regret anything, but do you wish you had more footage of you working out when you were in like peak?
No, not really. No. The only thing that I've never recorded is myself squatting. You know, It's leg press, hack squats, but not squats. I don't have anything of me squatting. Squats was my favorite exercise. I go in the gym.
It's mad that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing to film back in the day, was it? It was just like,
I don't know what it was. Yeah. Well, we didn't have the tripods. It's like, we didn't do that stuff, We just went all in. We didn't have time to set up something and train and look at it and see how good we look. Yeah. Some of my squat workouts were insane.
Was it like Tom Platt style where you just rep it out?
Yeah. I would warm up with 315, 20 reps, go to 405, 20 reps. Like I'd be barefooted. I would take my shoes off, no belt, no wraps, go all the way up. I went to 500 pounds, no belt, no shoes, barefooted, no wraps, nothing for 20 reps. Squat down and see how far I can get down on the ground. Just crazy stuff, insanity. Put leg reps on, do about, 800 pounds, 780 for 4, stuff like that. Just crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who still impresses me, even at his age? Mike O'Hearn.
Yeah.
The weight that he's
unbelievable.
Still around.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I had the pleasure to train with him when I was in LA in August. We just did a shoulder session. But I think he was just cruising through that. He wasn't doing anything serious. But you can see in like just recent footage of him still throwing it up. It doesn't make any sense.
Never hurt, never no injuries. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
But I think I'd have to say, Mike, his strength is natural strength.
You think?
Yeah. I think so. Because he's never been injured. Not that I know of.
Well, have you seen him when he was like 13, 14 years old?
He was strong.
When he first competed, he's like a fully developed.
Yeah, he's strong. Person. And he's still doing it.
Yeah.
And it's only the natural athletes that I know that was doing it back, 20, 30 years ago that are still looking good doing it now. Yeah. All the guys that was geared up, they were all broke up, tore up, or out of the game. But it's the natural boys that are still here, looking great, doing the push-ups, the sit-up, and the strength is always maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still follow the Olympia stuff?
Not really.
No. It's weird because people ask me the same question, and it's well, of course I'll just check in to see how everyone ends up doing.
Yeah.
But I think it was like your era, the Yates era, Coleman era. That was my favorite.
Yeah, it was different.
I just think that it peaked at that.
Yeah, it was definitely different. Those are the moments. Yeah.
What do you think of the fitness industry as a whole at the moment? I
think it's incredible. I think it's phenomenal how the sport has grown and taken off through social media and the platforms and just everything. The TikTok, and I think it has a lot to do with why we're so relevant right now. Is the outreach, the social media, the outreach, the platforms. There's definitely people ask me all the time, and I was like, the sport is definitely in a great place right now.
Yeah.
Kids coming up to me, 14, 15, 12, 13 years old. The only reason why they know me is because of the history that they can see through social media. Yeah.
But I guess there's a downside that there's a lot of like truly amazing physiques which are plastered all over social media. And people find themselves comparing themselves and their physique to somebody who has an extra 10 years of training experience on top of what they've done. And maybe they've got to the gym and they trained for 2 years and like, nah, I don't want to wait. Like I want to look like that right now.
Yeah.
And all too quickly, they just start taking steroids. And they don't know
themselves.
What they're getting. They have no understanding of what it will do to their body.
Yeah.
And it's like, for what? Like, you're not even going to compete. You doing it just because you want to be a bit more jacked.
Yeah, it's like
it's not worth it.
Russian roulette, man. And you there's no filter out there to filter the wrong information that's showing up on the web.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
You know, we had Joe Weider. We had a mentor. He had a foundation that was qualified and proven. This is what you do. This is how you train. This is taught us how to pose, taught us how to speak, taught us how to conduct ourselves, prepped us to be pros, you know, and to be the best that we were with our physiques. Those days are gone. It's missing, and there's no sense of direction for pros who even get a pro card right now. They have to figure it out on their own. You know, they don't do any interviews. They don't interact with the public. They're not taught how to represent the IFBB in any kind of way or anything. That's not handed down to them. That structure is gone. So now people are just, you know, they're lost. That's the sad part.
Some fireworks going on. Very nice.
But
yeah, I think, I don't know, the current Mr Olympia and the physiques that, I mean, we could talk about that all day.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's quite what it used to be. In terms of fatherhood, what has that taught you? Because that's something I've yet to experience.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what advice you can give me on that.
It brings out the completion of everything you've accomplished in your life. Knowing that you will have a son or you have a son, and everything that you stand for, your son will absorb it and be a piece of you, and the one human being that you can trust with your life and your heart. So it takes the worry of everything away, and it made me complete. It made my life complete. You know, being a father taught me how to put someone else before me. And it also taught me how to think twice before doing something foolish. Everything I do now is for him. Every word I say will have an effect on him. When I travel the world and I go here, I'm doing it for him. So my opportunities and platforms of Kevin Levrone is laid down, living my life for him. And it started 30 some years ago when I turned pro, but it didn't make sense to me. But it makes sense to me now that legacy will be a huge platform for him. So the legacy that you have, I always say the greatest thing you could do is have a family and a son or a child, because everything that you're doing to this day will make sense the day that you have a son. And it might not make sense the first year, the second year, or third year. It didn't start making sense to me till my son was developing into a man and starting to mimic everything that I was doing. Eats like me. We have the same taste in cars, the same taste in music. He eventually started, I was like, wow. I had no idea, you know, that he would absorb who I am. And I was like, wow, you know, if I die today or tomorrow, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I think one of the hardest things that must be from somebody who has achieved success as a man to not spoil their child too much, because you want them to have some sort of adversity and difficulty when growing up, but obviously you don't want them to go through what you went through.
And we don't want to inflict difficulty on them.
Yeah.
I love my son with no hesitation, and I'm going to do that because everything that I've been through is allowing me to love him and set him up for success. I just want to set him up for success. However he takes that approach and apply it to his life is up to him. But like I tell him, and I always tell him, Gabriel, you might not understand it now, but the day that I'm gone, you're going to know that your dad loved you with all his heart and soul. And if it took for my dad to be gone and die at 10 for me to be the best father that I possibly can be, and also think that right there has a lot to do with it, like the pain and, your heart and everything that you go through. It's like you try to love your child so much to protect him from that, which is good because I know what love is, and all that made me a great father. You know, Mike, my son's never caught the bus to school. In 12 years, I've taken him every day that I was home. I would take him to school and pick him up. All of his practices, I was there. I was there because I don't want him to feel like his father wasn't there, like I felt when my father wasn't there. I know what that feels like. So from overparenting, I don't even know what overparenting is. All I know is when I became a dad, because I didn't have a father or because you didn't have a mom, we give and we just, it makes us complete. Like, I feel like I'm complete now because I love my son and I have a son, you know, and who I am will live on, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what fatherhood is, you know, and it drives us to keep going, you know, and make the right decisions in life. And it's not about, I don't do what I do now for me. I do it for people out in the world, but most importantly, to be a good role model to my son as well, to let him know, you know, never disrespect nobody. Always treat people with respect, even if you're tired, you know.
Yeah.
And to see him doing that and carrying that without me even asking him makes my life come full circle. So my dad's gone, my mom gone, all these things, but it all applies to my humbleness.
Yeah.
And loving every human being. And if that had never happened, I wouldn't be the father that I am today. If your life had never happened, one day you're going to have a kid, bro. And you'll be able to throw all that love and everything, every piece of you will be lived for your child.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of a man.
Yeah.
And have your child, you know, have your family. You sit back, man, and be complete. Be like, damn.
Yeah, because I think there's part of me that's kind of, I really enjoy my life now.
Yeah, I know.
And then you kind of like, oh, but then what?
You want to wait for the perfect moment and the perfect time and the perfect setup and the perfect that. I told you, bro. That's like me, Chase. I want the Olympia. I want this. The path is what it is. Sometimes just sit back and don't push and don't prepare and just wait. But when it comes, you should remember, it only comes. Opportunity comes once. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
You know, that right moment may have already came.
I think about that.
May
sometimes.
have.
Yeah.
You know, because you think it's coming wrapped up perfectly, wrapped up in the perfect timing.
You don't know what's already in front of you.
It comes in the most simple, unexpected moments and ways that you least expect it, you know? But because of what you expected was perfection. And sometimes that perfection, what you seek and you search, it could be missing the most important moments in your life.
I think a lot of people in today's age are looking for that perfection.
Yeah.
Both men and women. I think particularly women. Like I'm not saying it's bad to have high standards, but the standards are almost so high that it's like this person that you are imagining or visualizing doesn't exist. Like you're gonna have to. There's a few things you might have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it's the same for like a guy. Like guys want this perfect.
That might be your greatest struggle.
Yeah.
Finding that outside of being around perfectness or seeing perfectness, or what you think is perfect, right? Or what you think how it should be. Yeah. You gotta do some soul searching, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to simplicity and
I
Simple.
don't think there's much soul searching that can be done here.
Or just stop searching. Just stop searching, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop searching.
No.
Invite me to the wedding and let me know, though. All right?
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, I'm going to have a son. I'm going to have a child, man. I'm going to be a dad. Just let me know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, let me know, bro.
I'm like, Kev, I need some advice.
Yeah.
Awesome,
just
man.
say, Mike, don't do anything. Just
Yeah.
don't do anything. Just let it fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What have you got planned for the rest of this year?
Next stop after Dubai will be Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is it? Indonesia. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, wrapping it up 2025 with I think close to 20 countries.
It's a good thing you got going on. You're traveling the world.
Yes.
You're seeing so many different people, spreading a good message.
Thank you, man.
Building a business.
Yeah, you allowing me to have this platform to do it. So I want to say thank you for putting me on your platform. You know, you got a lot of cool followers out there, man. You know, like I said, I read your comment, I read their comments and everything, and I like the you know, your fans.
Mm-hmm.
Is
this a YouTube or Instagram or what?
It's YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. YouTube's comments are interesting.
Yeah,
There's some good
those
ones.
guys are
awesome.
awesome. I love it, man. I'm like, man, you know, but you got a really, really incredible support system and team that you've created. And you have a unique way about you to where people gravitate and they want to find out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who's this guy? You know, you have that mystery mystique about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I notice that sometimes when I walk into a room or I'm walking down the beach, people like they won't know who I am, but they're like
trying to figure it out.
Is he an actor?
Yeah.
Like, is this guy? What does he do?
And that's it. And I think again, like you said, your mom and that part, you know, of your mom, a part of you that you know, kind of put, you know, you were kind of in the shell a little bit, but you've still been very, very productive in those hidden moments. You know, you were still, you know, cultivating and being powerful and productive in your solitude, in your tranquility, secret moments and times, right? But that's who you are right now, and it comes across because I was looking at the thing of us training. I'm like, dang, he's not really saying a whole lot, but he's saying a whole lot when it's time to speak.
Yeah,
you weren't selling anything, but you were. I was like, it's very interesting to watch him doing this stuff, and then you would, you know, say something once in a while, come out of your shell, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, let me watch some more of him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very addicting, man. Your channel and who you are.
That was one of probably the hardest things I've had to do is come out of the shell.
Yeah,
because he didn't want to come out.
Yeah,
and I was like, if I don't come out of the shell,
you're
not going anywhere in life.
Right.
You better get yourself out of that shell.
So, but it's good. You know, I was like, wow. I started watching more of your videos.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I watched more of your videos to see who you were. Like, okay, is he, you know, and more and more and more. Next thing you know, wow, this guy's cool, man. He's awesome. Got me hooked too, bro.
No, that's one of the things I love doing the most is traveling around and just documenting my life. And I'm just so happy that people actually want to tune in and watch it. I could go anywhere and just film my experience, and
great platform.
The fact that people can tune in,
you know, and you're explaining and you're talking about your experiences and everything, and allowing us to be part of that. Yeah, so you definitely found that niche and who you are, you know, and we've accepted you. When I say we, us humans, you know, fans and people like myself, you know, I can't do what you do, you know, and only you can do that.
Yeah.
And you're so true to who you are, man. And that's the beauty in it. And I'm like, wow, you know, he's cute. He's a cool dude. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what people are always asking for advice. Like, how do you do it? How do you build a following? Advice. You just have to be yourself. You can't try and be somebody else or the person that you watch. you have to be you, because people will smell it a mile off.
Yeah,
Like, he ain't being himself.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, Kev. I appreciate this. I don't want to take up too much of your time because it's been the longest day ever.
Thanks.
But yeah, you're someone I really look up to. I respect a lot, and I'm happy to see. Well, I'm looking forward to see where this journey goes.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Good being here, man. Appreciate it.